So, my friends, I have something I need to tell you. I stopped asking my children, "How are you? What'd you do today in school?" Mostly because the answers did not promote the riveting conversation I was hoping for. I thought I could be the first parent to make it work. And yet, I don't want to brag, my kids are talking to me more than ever. So what's my secret? Well, when I see them now, I say, "Hi, I am so happy to see you." This is very counterintuitive for me because I was trained to think that asking questions is how you show love. The problem is that the word question, it comes from the word quest, which means to ask or to see. So too, even in the Hebrew, the word is a shaila or a she'ilah, which means to request or to borrow something. My friends, I thought I was giving love, attention, but in reality, I was asking them to give me something. There is a similar story of a mother who kept on leaving messages on her daughter's answering machine or voicemail in 2020. And this is what it sounded like. "Hi, Jenny, it's your mother," as if she needed to, right? "How are you? I am worried, sick about you. I haven't heard from you in almost 2 weeks. Call me." Well, she tried this again and again and again, to no avail. It doesn't work. Finally, one week, she called, and this is the message she left. "Hi, Jenny, it's your mother. I'm just calling to let you know that I'm okay." Well, wouldn't you believe it? Later that evening, Jenny calls. This is not theoretical. I'll let you in on something. I've tested this, and it works. And if you want proof, I'll show you. I have it in text messages, right? Where I texted somebody, "How are you?" Nothing. And then I texted them, "Hey, just want to let you know I'm okay." 10 minutes later. And it's amazing. So often we think we're giving when really we are taking. The Israelites in our Torah portion this week, truma, which means gift, donation, offering, they model for us what giving could and should be like. The backstory is the Israelites had been slaves for generations, owning basically nothing. And on their way out of Egypt, they actually use that word she'ilah, and they request gold and silver and fabrics from the Egyptians. And so they have these items now as they're wandering through the desert. For the first time ever, they have a little gelt in their pocket. They have something to share and to give. They are in a position of giving, and they can contribute to the building of the Mishkan, the tabernacle, the portable temple that traveled throughout the desert, throughout the Midbar. The Lord spoke to Moses, saying, "Speak to the children of Israel and have them take for me an offering, a donation for the tabernacle." And here you see both words, veichuli, take for me, a truma, a giving. Take, give, from every person whose heart inspires him or her towards generous giving. I've been thinking a lot about this idea of generous giving, because the verse links the two together, and upon reflection, we all know that they're very intimately connected. Often when we give, or at least when I give, there's a personal gain. There's even pleasure in the giving. And while this is still a very, very high mitzvah, it's very noble, let's reflect on the pleasures we get when we give. There's even apparently an entire Seinfeld episode where the characters compete to see who can do a selfless act, and would not be surprised to find out that they all fall short. Our rabbis in the Talmud, they comment, more than the calf wants to suck, to eat, to drink the milk, the mother cow wants to suckle, to provide. Isn't that true? You know, when I was younger, I never understood why my grandmother loved watching me eat those Stella Dora cookies. Did you hear they might be finally out of business this week? I heard something. I've been thinking about that. Those are my most precious memories. Me just sitting, eating cookies from a cookie jar, and my grandmother sitting there full of delight. But now that I'm grow older, I'm starting to get it. That indescribable joy, best encapsulated in the Yiddish, and we know this, to shep nachas, right? A deep satisfaction from watching and the pleasure knowing and realizing that others are enjoying the work of our hands. It's delicious. There's a deep desire to give, and when that is met, my friends, with an unwilling recipient, that doesn't feel so good. Many of us feel depressed, frustrated, and anxious. We don't know what to do with that. We're trying to give, but the gift is not being accepted. How many of us know someone downsizing or moving or simply realizing that he or she just has too much stuff? And I'm not talking about junk. I'm talking about beautiful books, art, clothes, china, furniture that are beautiful and sentimental. And yet, it's so hard to find the right person to give it to. We may not want to load up that car or minivan and bring it down to Goodwill because we want to shep nachas, knowing it will be enjoyed and appreciated and valued. How many of us have something to teach or really great advice to give? If only that person, that husband, right? That parent, that friend, that neighbor were open to listening. Our Torah portion is inviting us to be mindful whether we are actually giving or in reality taking, and how we benefit when we give, for the good and for the bad. But there's one more aspect that the Torah portion opens up for us. When using these donations to construct the ark, this is the ark, known as the Aron, that today holds our Torah scrolls, and in the temple, it held the 10 Commandments. They shall make an ark of acacia wood, 2.5 cubits in length, 1.5 cubits in width, and 1.5 cubits in height. And you shall overlay it with pure gold. From inside and from outside you shall overlay it. Here the ark that contains the 10 Commandments is made of wood, yet is golden on the inside and the outside. Based on this, our rabbis, one in particular, Rabbi, he says this: any Torah scholar whose inside is not like his outside is no Torah scholar at all. For us, the golden mean is different from how the golden mean is used by others. Some, like Plato and Aristotle, they advocate for the middle of the way. The golden mean is a balanced way of approaching and navigating life. But I suggest for us in the Jewish tradition, the golden mean is a little different. The middle of the road, I've heard, is for horses. And in the case of the ark, it's a piece of wood. Functional, yes, but lacking luster, and not truly alive or living. Not super exciting. We are being encouraged to go for the gold. When we give, let's really give. When we give to ourselves, let's make it really special. When you make dinner, I'm talking to myself, don't eat standing up, sit down, right? And when we give to others, let's make it worthwhile. You see, the way of the Torah is to celebrate, to honor, to gild, which means to make something overlaid with gold, both the me and the we, the self and the other. Some of us are excellent at giving to others, being patient and compassionate towards them, making time for others. Yet, and you don't need to raise your hand if you know it's you, they may not always give attention, the love and the care to their own souls. These folks may need to begin to also treat themselves as though they are worthwhile of being cared for. And there are many of us who are excellent at taking care of ourselves. Well, maybe we need to begin to exercise that giving muscle. And in Judaism, there's a custom to give tzedakah all the time, when lighting candles on Friday night, before prayer in the morning, or Sundays at religious school. This giving practice ingrains a healthy habit of generosity that will keep our hearts open. And to bring this together, our rabbis teach, if I am not for myself, who will be for me? And if I'm not for others, what am I? So I want to end with this prayer. O God, grant me the wisdom of giving courageously. Let me expand my ability to give. Let our holy Torah enable and ennoble us. Let me give of myself to those in need, and let me nourish myself as a tribute to you. With this balance, may I not harbor resentment. May I overcome anxiety, and in the spirit of the Purim holiday, with just a few days away, may I be blessed with joy and happiness. And let us say, Shabbat, Amen. Shabbat Shalom, my friend.